Faramir was a Dunedain from Gondor, second son of Denethor II, and a younger brother of Boromir II. When Faramir was 1 year old, his grandfather, Ecthelion II, died, and his father succeeded him as a ruling steward of Gondor. When he was 5, his mother, Findulas of Dol Amroth, also died, and his father detached himself from the family. His 5 years older brother Boromir became Faramir's protector and helped him around. The brothers grew very close and great in love, and although Denethor visibly favored Boromir, there was no jealousy or rivalry whatsoever. Although they were similar in appearance, with dark hair and grey eyes, it was not so inside, as Boromir was more like their father, fearless and bold warrior, while Faramir was more thoughtful, had gentle spirit, and loved the lore, although he did not lack the courage or proficiency in arms. It was his interest in wisdom that led him to befriend Gandalf, learning a lot from the Grey Pilgrim, but losing his status in his father's eyes a little bit more in the process, being even called Wizard's pupil by Denethor, who disliked the Istari and never trusted them. During the wars with Mordor, Faramir captained the Ithilien Rangers, proving to be a skilled and valiant commander of men, but one who did not find any pleasure in war. When Sauron attacked Osgiliath, and Gondorian army began to flee from the Witch King to the other side of Anduin, it was Faramir who stood at Boromir's side on the last bridge and defended the western shore until the bridge was destroyed under them, the brothers needing to swim to safety. At this time he was troubled by a repeating prophetic dream which pressed him to go to Imladris, but Boromir used all the influence he had with his father to go instead. 7 months later, while on a watch over Anduin, he spotted a floating boat containing Boromir's body and his possessions he was buried with, and sent down the Anduin River after his death at Amon Hen. Following this loss, Faramir doubled his efforts in defending Gondor, taking over his brother's position as a captain of the White Tower, and spending most of his time in Ithilien, fighting orcs and evil men. During one of these skirmishes with the Southrons, he encountered Frodo and some Gamgee, recognizing immediately the halflings his dreams had spoken of. He made both hobbits prisoner and took them to Henet Anun for detailed interrogation. During his inquiries, he was able to understand the basics regarding Frodo's quest and the failings of Boromir, but decided rather not to use the weapon of the enemy, not trusting the outcome of such an action. He even spared Gollum and gave Frodo provisions and advice before letting them go free, risking his own head in such a violation of his father's laws. Faramir then retreated with his men to Caer Andros, an island in the river Anduin. Sending his men to bolster up the defenses of Osgiliath, he himself rode to Minas Tirith, being attacked by flying Nazgûl on his way there. Once in safety, he reported to Denethor of his deeds, hobbits, and Boromir's death. His father, being angered by the loss of his beloved son, and by failings of Faramir in bringing him the One Ring, sent his remaining son to protect Osgiliath as best as he could, and return only if victorious against unmanageable odds. Once Sauron's army attacked, it took the Witch King a whole day to overwhelm Faramir's force, which he led in a fighting retreat towards the Causeway Forts. There the Gondorians fought for another day, before retreating to Minas Tirith. Faramir led personally the rearguard, but was injured by a poisonous arrow, and would have died were it not for Gandalf and Prince Imrahil charging the orcs and Haradrim down with a cavalry sword. Denethor, desperate in his vision of the end of Gondor and his own line, decided to be burned alive on a pyre where his son at his side. Fortunately for Faramir, another hobbit, Peregrine Took, roused Beregond of the Tower Guard, who came just in time to stop the servants from lighting the pyre. After Denethor burned himself, Gandalf had Faramir transferred into the Houses of Healing, where he recovered, with Aragorn's help, from his wounds. There he also met his future wife, Eowyn of Rohan. He acted briefly as a ruling steward of Gondor, surrendering his office on the day of Aragorn's coronation, but getting the title back, as well as a newly created princedom of Ithilien. His duties there included hunting down orcs and outlaws, guarding the easternmost outpost of Gondor, and cleaning the Morgul Vale from the evil remnants. In this he was helped by Beregond, now the commander of his guard, and also by Eowyn, who became his wife and mother of his son Elboron, Faramir's successor as a steward of Gondor and chief counselor to the king. Faramir died aged 120, a clear sign that the blood of Númenor ran strong in his veins.